Thanks for listening again. This is John for Some Roses Are Red, and today in our home studios we have Vibraancy. That's Vibraancy. Vibraancy is a local Milwaukee local Milwaukee. Well, you can say neo soul, R&B, pop, hip hop influenced duo here. They launched their social media campaign in October of 2018. I've known, let me introduce who they are. They are Miguel and Nye. You guys can say hey.
Hey.
What's up? Now, I've played with Miguel across the city. Miguel is a phenomenal guitarist, and Nye is a phenomenal singer, and they both are gifted songwriters.
Thanks.
And musicians within their own rights. So they came up with the name Vibraancy in the winter of 2017, and I guess the first question I'll ask before we get into the other podcast stuff is, where did the name Vibraancy come from?
Yeah, so like you said, we're both musicians and we've both been making music for a while now. And Vibraancy first came to me a while back. It was only with one A though. But the thought behind Vibraancy was kind of like a chord where you, if you think of a guitar, you play one string and that note is perfect, especially when it's tuned and everything. You pluck that string and it's a perfect note. It's beautiful. When you pluck another string, it's a different string, but when you pluck that one string, it's also beautiful,
Right.
And so they're both beautiful in their own rights, but when you play them together, you're not sacrificing anything from that first note or that second note. You pluck them together and now you have a chord, and now it creates more than just a note. It's more of a feel.
Right.
And so without any of those notes or the strings sacrificing anything, they didn't have to change. They remained the same, but just doing it together made it so much better.
Okay.
And so kind of just that's where the idea came from. I don't try to water down anything that Nyla brings to the table, and she doesn't try to do the same with me either. At least I don't feel it.
Right.
And so again, that's basically the idea of Vibraancy. And then when Nyla came, when I was introduced with Nyla and we decided to do Vibraancy that way.
Right.
She decided, she's new to the vibrant, we decided to do something different, something new, and so we decided to add the other A because my middle name is Angel. It starts with the A. Her middle name is Amadi, so it starts with the A. So two A's is two people. So it's Vibraancy. Yep.
So now I know middle names, so I will be using them more frequently since I have middle names. That's pretty dope. Yeah. So we got through what your name means. What I did mention earlier when we were talking about Vibraancy is that they are both a couple in addition to being a duo musically. And predominantly, Nye said she grew up on the north side. So did I. A lot of people did. Dope side of town. South side,
yes,
I'm getting right. South side, I'm living on now, but I'm getting used to the south side. I can dig that as well. That's actually right. That's actually how I met Miguel playing with Brown's Crew, another group you'll be hearing about, I imagine, at some point on the podcast. Brown's Crew, hip hop group, but we got a chance to meet Miguel and myself. And I think we had a pretty good vibe. Like I said, dope musician. And now that I'm getting a chance to work with both he and Nye, dope musicians and a dope group. So I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
So I'm very interested to see what they put out in the future. I've heard some tracks today that were fire tracks. So hopefully you guys will get a chance to hear those when they're in their pilot state and ready to go. So
Definitely.
The secondary part of the reason why I've had Vibraancy, Miguel and Nye on the podcast today is because I wanted to ask them a couple questions. Now, if you listen to the other podcast with Erica and Delvis Malone, you got the chance to hear some questions that I asked people about the holiday season. And since this is a relationship-based show, not just romantic relationships, but relationships in general, how people relate to one another, I decided to, why not have people who worked well together musically, and like I said, they are a couple as well, why not invite them in just to pick their brains and see what's on their minds. Now, it's not necessarily about relationships, but it does give you a clue into how other people think, and I think that the more input you can have in terms of this walk of life, the more chances you can have to take a different path and say, well, this person did that might work for me. Or you might say, that was a terrible idea, I don't want to do that. So again, I invite people on the show who I believe we have a common interest, and we have common goals, and we have a common mindset. Now, I may or may not agree with what they say, and they may or may not agree with what I say, but we can at least have a common dialogue, and that's our most important piece here. So let's jump right into some of the questions that we had regarding the holiday season. Now, the theme of the podcast this time is around the holiday season, so that's going to include Thanksgiving, that's going to include Christmas, both of which have passed. Today is December the 29th, so both of those holidays have already passed, and we're quickly approaching New Year, so 2019 is coming. But I still have these series of questions that I just want to ask you too, and feel free to answer at your leisure, as you feel comfortable. Our first question is, it's a four-parter, so I'll reiterate each question as we go through. And this is for you collectively if you want to, or this is for you individually. Either one is fine by me. The first question is, over the last year, that's over the last 365 days that you've had, well, almost 365, like I said, we're approaching New Year. Over the last 300 and some odd days that you've had in 2018, what have you been the most thankful for? The first caveat on that one is, what have you been the most thankful for personally, within your own personal space, apart from anything and everything else? What have you been the most thankful for when you look at the person in the mirror? Oh.
I can go first on that.
Okay.
So I've actually been doing a lot of reflecting on this past year, this 2018 year, and there's two things I really felt like were something I was really happy to see in myself this year. And one is, I just felt like I have grown a lot as a person, how I see people, how I see myself, how I see situations, being able to not take things personally.
That's a big one.
Definitely a huge one for me. I feel like I was able to just like kind of take a step back and assess situations a lot better this year, and that was a huge win for me. This is actually the first year I can honestly say I've been able to do that.
Hey.
I'm glad to see that, and I'm gonna stick with that because that feels really good. Because it's not about me. It's not the things that happen, the good, the bad, the ugly, all the in between. I'm not the common denominator, and I'm not the only party involved, and it's just it takes a lot to learn how to work with people. Professionally, romantically, with your family, friends,
especially family.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And it's like, everyone comes from a different place. We all see things from a different perspective.
Right.
So it's just feels good to be able to step back and just like think that way,
Yeah, I agree. Miguel?
Yeah, kind of sort of with that stepping back that you just mentioned. For me, I think when I look in the mirror is something that I'm grateful for, something that I'm proud of for myself.
Right.
Is sort of the courage that has been building in me in order to have the confidence to pursue what I actually want to do in life.
Right.
Just actually, just 2 days ago, I quit my job, which was crazy to me. It's just really weird. I still feel kind of weird about it, but again, stepping back and seeing really what is my purpose? What am I doing with my time?
Right.
Time to me has sort of became a really important thing.
Oh yeah.
And so. Every time I would go into work, I would want to do my best,
Right.
So I would be on time. My uniform would be clean and tidy, and I would bring my A game, to serve every table as best as possible.
Right.
And so during this year, I've been building up the courage to say no to opportunities that doesn't necessarily lead or point me in the direction that I want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And having that courage and trusting sort of myself with, hey, this is possible and I can do it.
Right.
And so it's like a two-part thing. Like I'm proud of myself for having that courage, but I'm also like very, very thankful for the support that I've been having with like friends. Nyla herself, a big proponent. My best friend, shout out Josh. He's always in my face. He's always believing in me, like almost blindly believing in, And I really, really appreciate that. I feel like if it wasn't for that, who knows, but yeah, those two are the things I'm grateful for. My friends, the support that I've had, and also the courage that I've been building to get to this point. Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So of course, since I said this one's a 4-parter, and I know, Miguel, you partially stepped into the to this next question here. Now, the same question over the last year, what have you been the most thankful for? The first one was for your personal life and your personal world. This one is professionally, and like you said, you kind of alluded to it when you said you recently stepped away from your job because from a professional standpoint, you're moving towards something that you wanted to do more than something you had to do, which is dope because that's the reason why I'm doing this podcast. So that's dope. So if we'll start with Nye, if you don't mind, professionally, if you had to say what you're the most thankful for. Now, on the other podcast, I did say professionally usually is my least thankful because I work because I have to, not because I love it. And maybe that's just a fear thing because I haven't stepped into what I really want to do, but I'll accept it. So we'll say professionally, what are you the most thankful for over the last almost 365?
I would say the transition that I've taken professionally.
Mm-hmm.
So I have transitioned through a couple of different jobs just in 2018.
Okay.
The beginning of 2018, I was working with an AmeriCorps program, Public Allies. It was awesome.
Dope
I
program.
loved the program, right?
Yeah.
And I love being a part of it. Opened up a world to a bunch of opportunities and networking opportunities that actually really helped me flourish now. So that's something that I'm just really, really happy to be able to speak on during that time, which was the majority of my 2018.
Okay.
It was very stressful, very strenuous. I'm taking on more than I know I should and not practicing self-care. I didn't know how to balance my work life and my other than work life.
Yeah.
Everything was work life. And
Right.
then it was like, if I have time for something else, then it's just the other than work life. And
Right.
I can't even call it personal life
Just
because it wasn't.
The other space in your time.
Right. So that was that. And then that ultimately helped me get the 3 jobs I have now, which I must say I absolutely love all 3 of them.
Wow.
So I can't complain. The money's way better than it was when I was working with Public Allies. We all know how AmeriCorps is a nice pay cut.
Right.
But the 3 jobs I have now I love them. 2 of them are working nonprofit. AmeriCorps is one of them.
That's dope.
And then, but I'm a staff member this time, so the pay is
Right.
more than double.
It's real money. Real
Right.
money. Right.
And then I bartend, so it's really, I enjoy that. Enjoy all of it.
That's what's up. I know Public Allies does a lot of beneficial stuff. Not that I'm repping them, but I just know people who've gone to their program, and they're dope people. So I'll give them a big up just because of the people that they have affiliated themselves with.
Yeah, I get to be surrounded by people that I enjoy, and I don't know if a lot of everyone can agree with that for work.
Right.
I don't have any coworker complaints or anything, or boss complaints. I love them all. I'll grab drinks with any of them.
So that's going to be my resolution. No coworker complaints. I'm pretty chill at work, so I don't really mind. Now, Miguel, I know you spoke to the fact that you, like I said, you had recently left a position.
Yeah.
So let's say your profession, we'll call your profession 2018. You are a professional musician for 2018. That's the step that you've made. So now we'll call you by that title. So as a professional musician, unless you want to speak about the other profession, what have you been the most thankful for 2018?
Okay, so yeah, with the positions that I've had before, that's not music.
Right.
It's because it's taken away from music. Either that's time or it's always time. It's always time that I'm not giving.
Yeah.
And so from music taking such a I'm kind of nervous, but excited. You know, it's a mixture of both. Like I remember talking to Nye when I first quit. She was like, "How do you feel? You know, champ? How you feel, champ?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't know. It's scary because you know, in the back of my head, and then like also, I'm first generation here. Both my parents are from Mexico.
Okay.
And you know they have crazy work ethic. You know.
Yes, they do.
And so it's like, you know, for them to come to this country for their child to just be but to be a musician, you know what I mean, versus like a doctor or an engineer or something, you know, that, you know, and obviously they just want the best for me, you know, they want something to provide, they want me to be able to build, and Nyla just keeps on reminding me that like me doing music is building, you know.
Heck
me
yeah.
doing music is like doing art, doing all these other things that I know that I'm good at. You know, I think Nia really nailed it. We're not just musicians, we're creatives.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so, well, at least for me, and I know that's how we vibe, that's how I feel like our one common trait is that creativity, that I really admire about her. But it pushes my creativity too. It's almost like a friendly competition almost.
Okay.
And so as far as music goes, what I'm really thankful for, it's not that it's the support. It's honestly, it's the support that keeps reminding me and pushing me, that's saying like, hey, you are a musician and it's okay to be a musician. You know, it's okay to label yourself that. It's okay to, you know, and I always talk to Nyla, like the real musicians are like those that are playing in a New York subway after work, you know what I mean, or like doing that like because they love it, because that's what that makes them happy, and sort of like, again, going back to that first question, taking a step back, you know, I'm taking a super step back. Like it's like we are on a floating rock, a floating spaceship, right, going through space, we only have a certain amount of time on this planet, and if there's one thing that I know, like there's this book that I'm reading, right, and there's a quote on it that I really love. And it says, you know, you don't do music unless you have to do music. Right. And at this point, I feel that way. I really feel it. Like I have to do music because I need my bills to get paid. Like I have to do music because I got to do this, that, and the third. So and it's because it's really what I feel like I've been put on this earth to do. It's music, create, art, all this other stuff. And so yeah, I've been really grateful for the support that keeps reminding me that it's okay. You know what I mean? That I can do this. Yeah.
That's what's up. I've heard a quote that said, I don't know if it was referring to either integrity or character, but it says that either integrity or character is what you do when nobody is watching. And some of the I have a tendency to watch a lot of musical directors for a lot of big bands, The Roots, a lot of different groups. Yeah. And what the musical directors usually say most often regarding professional musicians is that they would rather work with a person who has less skill and who is more receptive to learning and who has a better attitude, a better character than someone who has immense skill but you can't count on them. So I would say if that's a stepping stone to being a great professional musician, you've definitely displayed that as far as I know, working with me. And then even from what you said regarding your previous profession, how you took pride in your appearance even and your performance of the job. So I think the things that you do right now as a stepping stone into being professional full-time, I think those are insanely important, and being aware that it didn't just happen because you wanted it, because there were people that were helping you. Those are dope things to recognize that we're not alone. We're not an island unto ourselves. So big up to, again, I told you, people that I vibe with. So hey, that's cool.
Thank you, man.
Right. So here's our next, we're in the same line here. Cool. Over the last year, what have you been most thankful for? This is the third of 4. This one is the one that you've been waiting for in your immediate family. So that's inside your household, the 4 walls surrounding and encompassing your home. What are you the most thankful for of those people who you wake up and you see on a regular basis? Which doesn't have to be blood family. That could be roommates. That could be anyone who lives in your home. And anyone could take that first. I don't mind.
Yeah. So I still live with my family.
Okay.
And so I see them every morning. To me, I'm the oldest of 4, and we're all boys.
Okay.
And so this year there's been some changes with my sibling relationships. So I'm 25. Christian, the next one after me, he's 23.
Oh wow.
So he moved out, and so he is also expecting a baby girl.
Whoa.
I know. So I'm gonna be Theo Miguel over here soon.
Right.
So that's crazy to me.
Uncle Swag.
Yeah, man. And it's real interesting. So it's me and my brother Chris, and then the ones after that, they are 11 and 9.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, no, 10 and 12. They're 10 and 12.
Okay.
10 and 12. But they're also a pair, you know, and so one of them's in 8th grade, the other one's in 6th grade.
Okay.
And then just really seeing them grow, you know, from me actually holding them, sleeping, like putting them to sleep, changing diapers, and like, you know, all that stuff.
Right.
To seeing them grow, and like I'm trying to be the person that I wish I had when I was in their shoes. And I know my brother Christian, the other older one, he takes that very seriously with them too, you know. So we're already talking about, what do you want to do in life? You know, we're already talking about like other avenues of success other than the traditional, go to school, get a job, internship, get a job, and then work. You know, like what else? What are you interested in? And then trying to plant that seed of confidence that like, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? I feel like it took me till 25 to be like, hey, you know what? I'm a professional musician, and so if I can, whatever they're interested in, you know, and I'm not trying to force anything on them, but like whatever they show interest in, try to feed that.
Yeah.
And so and they're just the best, like most well-behaved like kids ever, you know what I mean? So I love them to death, but I'm really like thankful for them, watching them grow. And then it also keeps me like honest, sort of in a way. So like I kind of look at my actions and be like, okay, well, what am I doing? You know, because they're seeing me, they're watching me, like where they're hearing me. So everything that I say, how I act, how I carry myself, they're a way to keep me honest as well. So my little brothers, I feel like are pretty cool. I'm thankful for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nye.
So I have one roommate. Actually, we went to college together, and then after we graduated college, we did Public Allies together.
Okay.
So, and you know, it's been about almost 2 years living together in a studio. We both share a studio, so we both share a bedroom and everything, and I have no complaints. She's like my best friend.
Gonna say, if you didn't, that's close quarters, man.
Right? It's very close quarters.
Right.
You definitely have to love the person you're with if you're gonna be sharing a bedroom with them.
All right.
Sharing everything right there in the open.
Yeah.
Living room, bedroom, all that is all the same. So she's extremely supportive, and I like to think I'm supportive in return. I hope she could say that as well.
Yeah, I hope you would know by now.
About like literally anything. So
okay.
Whether it's my closet is your closet. I made some food, please eat. And
wow.
I got the dishes, you get the dishes, and different things like that. Even just life issues like, oh my gosh, work today was and things like that. Just very, you know, hair tips and things, you know.
Okay.
Family talk is a big one, because I know we all have things going on in family that are sometimes hard to figure out.
Oh,
you know?
Families are good for teaching you what you want and do not want out of this life.
Oh yes.
So if you find a good family and you have good friends, you can definitely conquer the world here.
I'm sure we've seen some of the best and worst of each other in close quarters. You know,
and
if I gotta cry, you're gonna see it.
Yeah, if you're staring in a studio, you can't just ignore the person literally next to you. Okay. I like it. The last part of that one is a 4-parter here. Now, you kind of answered this question, both of you here. It's in your extended family, in-laws, etc. Miguel, you spoke to the importance of the collective here. And of course, like I said about Erica and Delvis, these two will be on many, many, many more programs on this podcast. Some Roses Are Red, and also on future podcasts. But to speak to the importance of the collective, I think, especially during the holiday times, it's good to have a support system that you can talk to, that you can be thankful for, that you can even give the gift of giving. Because in in many cultures, more than receiving, the gift of giving is well, I'd say even in this culture, it's the gift of giving is even more profound because you get a chance to extend from yourself. So that's a dope spot to be in. So if you wanted to, you don't have to answer this one in depth. But if you were to say in your extended circle, so we'll include, we'll call it the good people in your circle. So the outer friends, the perimeter friends, the people you don't necessarily see every week or even every month. But out of those people, your periphery, there we go, pronounce that correctly. Your periphery, those relationships, what are you the most thankful for? Now you said support, I know, Miguel, but let's say from the people who don't necessarily make a big impact, who are just positive people in your circle or in your orbit, if you will.
I guess.
How about like more along the lines of mentorish? How about that?
Okay. Yeah. So, I feel like when I mean, not only the support that they give me, but like they're on top of their shit. You know what I mean? Shout out. Let's see. Well. Well, no, okay. Like for example, my best friend Josh. Like I grew up dancing with him.
Okay.
So we were in a dance crew like in 2011, 2012. We were pretty dope actually. But out of the whole like 4 or 5 of us, he was the one that continued to dance, and now he's making a living.
That's what's up.
Bought like a brand new car last year. You know what I mean? Making a good life for himself. He just went on WOD, World of Dance, which is big.
Wow.
It's kind of, for those that don't know, it's kind of like America's Best Dance Crew.
Yeah.
They used to air that, and they don't air that unfortunately anymore.
Yeah.
But so what took over, especially on like the YouTube scene, is like the World of Dance, and he actually competed and placed. He placed 7th.
That's what's up, man.
And Milwaukee as a whole placed 7th and 3rd, I think, too.
Wow.
In this competition, and so watching him kind of do his thing, he kind of did everything right. I know he'd probably laugh at me if he hears me saying this, but he did everything right. Like ever since he was in high school, he had really good support. Instead of buying into the college and going into that, he was like, I really want to dance. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
He started off with, like a couple of studios that he taught in, and then working on the side as a cook.
Right.
And then he eventually transferred only to dancing. And then eventually he was competing. And then eventually, he was traveling. And then eventually, he got into the Milwaukee Ballet, and he's like the first ever hip hop dance teacher there, like intensive for the summer. And so, watching people like him, you know what I mean, really do their thing. Watching like Sebas from Brown's Crew, I know you mentioned Brown's Crew, watching him do his thing and taking that leap of faith almost, and actually doing it. Like just watching these people do their things, and just to stress the importance of surrounding yourself with the type of people that you want to be like, or like-minded individuals.
Right.
I mean, that's why I'm sitting here with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? With you, like I try to surround myself with like, even with my job, with my friends, with everything. If it's not pointing in the direction that I wanted to go to, then it's not really gonna help me.
Yep.
And so. In my periphery, sort of mentor, it's not like they're showing me like, hey, you should do this, that, and the third. It's more so like, hey, I did it, so I'm sure you can figure it out too. You know what I mean? And I know they're there for me when I need it. But at the same time, watching them, I'm like, you know what, they're doing it. Why can't I do it? It's sort of like a friendly competition, sort of a thing.
Okay.
But yeah. Hopefully, I feel like as a mentor, I'm still kind of looking for one.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff that I want to do, and I know there's people that can help me reach those goals. But yeah, that's what I want to say about my periphery, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
keep doing your thing, periphery.
Right. All right. Now, big up Josh, by the way.
Yeah, big up Josh. What's up, bro?
Go Josh. So for me, I would say my mentors. I'd say I have multiple mentors, most of them being Black women.
Okay.
Just a lot of Black women inspire me. Black women that I've met, Black women I've read about in different books, and that are just like paving the way for the rest of us to make a name and be ourselves. For example, I've been natural my whole life, and I unfortunately, like, being natural hasn't always been appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
Having big hair hasn't always been appreciated.
Not by smart people. Has been appreciated. Smart people have. They appreciate it.
That's true. So it's been, just seeing so many Black women now fully embracing themselves and coming straight out the woodwork, and showing themselves in the light and being very bold and proud to be that way, taking a lot of leadership roles, and just helping other women find their voice in that as well, has been huge for me. A lot of the women are, one of them I want to actually shout out. Her name is Shavonda. She actually is a program manager. I met her through Public Allies.
Okay.
So she is just awesome. I love her. And then I would say just like seeing how successful we're being. I have a group of friends for all the way back from high school.
Oh, wow.
We get together every once in a while. Every time there's a marriage, every time there's an engagement or a new baby. So we get together and we celebrate each other, and just like the growth, the accomplishments of getting that degree, getting that job,
right,
getting those different steps in life and those life goals, and just being able to see us doing what we wanted to do all along. So I love seeing people win that are in my circle.
Okay.
We still do sleepovers, I'm childish like that. I always will be.
Wow.
I'm gonna, we're 25. We gotta let the husbands know, you gotta sleep at your friend's house tonight because the girls are coming over and we're sleeping over. So
Yeah.
It'd be like that, but it's good. I love seeing people win. That's huge for me. Musically now, I'm really paying a lot more attention to those wins.
Yeah.
So like the backline that happened, seeing people doing really well in that was awesome. Seeing the 4 selected backline members actually complete their term, and that was really awesome. Seeing Brown's crew, seeing Laurel and her lovely ladies of leisure.
She doesn't know me, but I want to have her on the show so bad.
Right?
They're so dope.
I'll tell her you want to have her on the show. I will definitely pass the word on.
Word.
So just like different people doing great things musically, I'm just really happy to see that. It's awesome.
Okay. So I'll deviate just a second here because I just noticed both of you guys said that you're both 25, which is dope. And I remember when I was 25.
Oh, I'm 24.
Well, you're 25-ish.
Right.
You're in the zone of 25.
They give me 3 months.
Gotcha. So 3 months away and fully 25, Miguel.
Yes, I'm fully 25.
Fully 25.
26 in 4 months.
Word. So what's interesting about that is that I seriously started to play drums at the age of 25. So I decided that I was sitting, much like you said, I was sitting there and I said, what do I really want to do? What do you like to do? And I said, I like music, and I might have even told you guys the story before. I went to the music store. I really wanted to play bass, like really, really bad. So I went to the music store and I said, I want to play bass. And he showed me a bass and it was like $400. And he's like, over there's drum stuff, and drumsticks were $8.
Ooh.
I did not have $400. So I grabbed the drumsticks and fell in love with those. So from the age of 25, which is insanely late for musical term, for anything, for music or sports, was really late for me. So I was constantly kind of reaffirming myself, like you said, with people around you, a good circle to say that just because you started later than most people doesn't mean that you can't find fulfillment in it and even success. You never know. Mm-hmm. So I think it's dope to speak to, I feel like I'm speaking to myself at that age to say that it's dope to believe in something that you really do love. It is great that you have a support system, but even if you didn't, it's dope to believe that you are dope. And that's not to gas yourself, but just to say that sometimes the vision of where you want to be is more real than the actuality of where you are. So for me, that was always a key, because I even before I was any good, I always believed that I could be. So that has pushed me. And just talking to both of you, it seems like you believe. You've drunk your own Kool-Aid, and you believe the story about yourself that you tell yourself, and those who are around you who are so positive support that story, and that's 300% dope. So
thank you.
So you can see why I hang out with Vibrancy, because they're dope people, man. So, and individually and collectively here. So we'll get back on tangent, because I did say this was holiday edition. So we covered a lot of things, being thankful for, knowing that Thanksgiving is past us. So our next set of questions here, of course, is going to be the next holiday, which is Christmas, babe. All right. So in terms of Christmas, both of you, again, collectively or individually, what was your best Christmas memory from today all the way back till the very first memory you had of any Christmas? What was that best memory?
Man, okay, I got one. So I remember we just moved into like our new house. This is when me and Chris were still like kids, so the little ones weren't even in the picture yet.
Oh wow, okay.
And I remember it was the first time I got a PS2.
That's what's up.
And it wasn't just that I was like maybe 9 or 10, so I was extremely hyped for this PS2, right? But that wasn't even it. I think it was we got like stockings full of candy, just like the small bite-sized like chocolate, like Three Musketeers, Snickers, and Twix mix or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it was really dope, because I remember playing Need for Speed Underground on the PS2 and pigging out on like candy bars. And I'm telling you, we were there for hours. Like when we got up, like just all the candy wrappers were just everywhere. And my parents were just like, you know what, it's okay. Like they can throw up at night. No, but that's probably my favorite one. It was a white Christmas too. I remember that. It was snow outside.
Okay.
The lighting on the inside, we were just cozy on the couch, you know, pigging out and playing Need for Speed. It was really cool. It was dope. I like that one.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta love video game Christmas memories.
Right. Yes.
Now, Miss Nai, your favorite or your best? Not your favorite. This could be your best, which may be your favorite or maybe not. Christmas memory.
So I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I can't really remember any specific Christmas.
What? No.
I don't really remember gifts I got or anything. No. I just remember that the tree every year, going to pick out the tree, is the best. And I just remember one year going to pick out the tree with my mom on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
We were going to try to get a real tree on Christmas Eve, and that was the funniest thing. Oh, my God. We were looking everywhere, and we finally found some trees. They practically tried to throw it at us and give it to us, talking about, no one else is going to buy these trees.
Right.
We ended up getting a tree way too big for the house, and it was folded under the ceiling. I was just like, what is going on? But that was the biggest tree. That was my favorite tree that we ever got. And we decorated it Christmas Eve, because we always have the family Christmas party at our house on Christmas Eve. And we didn't have the tree yet. So it was just the most hectic thing ever, trying to get this Christmas party together. But my favorite thing is always the food. I love the food, the dinner, Christmas Eve, and then we get up and make a really good hash brown casserole in the morning that has cheese and cornflakes and ham and just potatoes and just all kinds of cream cheese. Has everything in it. It's so good. It's bomb.
Word. So note to self, ask Nye to bring hash brown casserole.
I can do that. We make some good eggnog too.
Word.
If you like liquor, you like your liquor?
Liquor with an A?
Liquor with an A. Have you licking it up? It's so good.
Okay. So we got video game memories, and we have the gigantic tree coming through the door. Okay. Here's another, of course, every question has a 2 or 3 part on there. So this one is what was your favorite gift? And Miguel, I think you said your favorite. Well, no, we didn't say that was your favorite. That was your most memorable.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite gift of all time, and what was it?
My favorite gift.
Or the most memorable besides the PS2? Or was it the PS2?
No, I want to say shout out to Christian, my brother. This was back in like 2013, 2014. I decided to go back to school at UWM, and I was taking graphic design classes, and I knew that I was gonna need specifically a Mac for some reason.
Yeah.
But that was just the requirement specifically for Mac, because whatever they ran only on Mac or whatever.
Right.
And that Christmas, I literally, it was one of those things where like you literally I did not expect it at all. I got a Mac for, like, my brother managed to get a Mac for Christmas for me.
Wow.
And I'm like, I was taken, because like I was just expecting the normal like underwear, socks, and whatever,
Right.
And then this comes out, and I'm like, whoa. And it was like more so the fact that he knew that I was going back to school. He knew that I needed a computer, and he went out of his way to, you did that. That was pretty cool. So I remember that Mac. That was pretty cool.
Word.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miguel's support system coming through with the Mac. I don't think
I still have it. It's the one that
Oh, this one over here.
There's that one.
Word. I don't think I even got a Big Mac from our brother. So you are definitely winning. Miguel is winning the support system Olympics here, running the table over me specifically. And I love my family, but hey, step it up, guys. There's Macs out here. Just kidding. Here's the third part of that same question of your favorite Christmas memory. Who was the hardest person you ever had to buy a gift for, and what did you eventually get that person? Now, on the other podcast, I said that it's difficult to buy a gift for me just because I'm impatient. So if there's something that I like, if I make mention of it, I'm probably going to buy it within a week or two. So it's not even worth like, oh, he said he likes it, I'll probably have it. If I mention it, that means I'm on the way to get it. So I'm a tough one in regard to that. What about either one of you? Who was the toughest person you ever had to buy a gift for, and what'd you get them?
I can go first. I would say this year I had to buy a gift for Miguel's dad.
Ooh.
I was asked, Miguel's, I would ask if I wanted to participate in their family Secret Santa.
That's what's up.
And I was like, first of all, I don't even know how Secret Santa works, if I'm being honest.
What?
And I knew I wasn't getting any gifts for my family or from my family. We don't really do all of that. So
Gotcha.
I was just like thinking, I have nothing to worry about, no Christmas, anything. And then I was like,
Wrong.
oh, okay. And then I'm like, who do I buy a gift for?
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up picking Miguel's dad. And
Wow.
I'm just like, okay, I don't know your dad. I don't know what he likes. I don't know what he hates. I'm just as likely to get either one,
Right.
So I was like, someone's gonna have to help me with this.
Okay.
But that was very nerve-wracking. So I was like,
I would imagine.
it's a lot on the line here.
Oh yeah, because that says a lot about who you are.
Right. I was like, I want brownie points.
Yeah.
I want favoritism points.
All of that.
I want him to like me more than he likes you, Miguel. Like, can you do that?
Right.
No, it was hilarious. Okay, because it was like 50 plus people all in the living room, right? Everyone's opening the gifts, and so when my dad was opening her gifts, she got him two things, right? So
Yeah.
she got like was it like a popcorn mix, right?
So there's this place called Lush, and they make the popcorn there, and it's
Okay.
really good. It's I got him a vegan maple bourbon flavored popcorn, and it's bomb.
That's pretty
It's
serious.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
And then she also got him like a really nice like Tommy Hilfiger set of like pajamas, because
Yeah, it's by Nautica.
Nautica, I'm sorry, Nautica. Right? So, right, my bad.
Tommy
bought it
Hilfiger by
too.
Nautica.
And it was hilarious because when my dad opened the first little gift, it was the popcorn.
Yeah.
And so all my uncles, they're all like kind of drunk at this point. They're like, oh, okay, all right. You know, they clapped it up.
Yeah.
And then when he opened the Nautica, like, you know, when he opened that, everyone was like, oh, everyone had a louder clap, and he was like, hey, man, I saw you were getting nervous. You were like, what? Just popcorn?
Right.
What? And then, you know, she was like, okay, cool. You passed, Nyla. You passed.
Okay.
She was like, we were worried there. We thought you just gave him some popcorn, and we were like, okay, what's going on? And then so it was hilarious.
So well played. So how about you, Miguel? Who's the hardest person you had to buy a gift for in your 25, almost 26 years on the earth?
That's pretty tough, man. I consider myself a good like gift giver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Oh.
Like I feel like I can pick something.
There was a face by 9.
You know, like no, I feel like I'm pretty good with gifts.
But who was the most difficult one you had?
Difficult? I'd probably say my dad too.
Whoa. Okay.
I was scared.
Okay. With good reason, sounds like.
Right. I didn't even know what he wanted. You know what I mean? So I remember one Christmas I gave him a Fitbit, and to this day, he has not worn the Fitbit.
No.
And I'm like, bruh, like, come on, please. My mom's like, she doesn't know how to use it. I'm like, he can ask me.
Yeah,
He can Google it.
I'll
He can
tell
like,
him.
Right, exactly. So he's tough just because he's stoic. He's a very stoic man.
Yeah.
And so it's tough. It's tough to like see what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
So you got the gourmet popcorn and the Nautica pajama set, and then we have the Fitbit, amongst other things I imagine over the years for both gifts for Miguel's dad. So
Right,
if you're wondering who's the most difficult person in Miguel's support circle to buy a gift for, that would be Miguel's father, Miguel Sr. Okay. So we got those two. The next question I have here is in regard to your music playlist here. So what's on your holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, depending on when you start, if you do listen to Christmas music or whatever you listen to during this time of the year, the holiday season, what is on your musical playlist?
Merry Christmas, Little Mama. It's the if you haven't heard it, it's
I have
Chance.
not heard that.
Chance. It's I think that's what it's called. It's Chance the Rapper and Jeremiah. They have like a Christmas album, and it is dope. I love it. It's feel good. You know, it's really good. I like that one.
I have not heard. I will definitely have to check that out.
Yup.
Okay. So, Nai, if it is Christmas or not, what's on your holiday playlist?
My holiday playlist is the Insecure soundtrack. I love that show, Insecure with Issa Rae.
Never seen that show either.
It's amazing. If you want a soundtrack if you want to put out a really dope album and you want to be musically inspired, I would say, let's turn on Insecure. It has 3 seasons on HBO now.
Okay.
They're very quick to watch through, and they are so good. It's written, directed by, produced by a black woman, and it's just the whole show is centered around her and her best friend, 2 black women, and like how they navigate through just like living in, I think it's LA. So it's really, really good. The soundtrack is amazing. It's hip hop, it's R&B, it's pop.
Oh.
It's very interesting. It's a whole like array of music. It's just all different kinds, and you'll love it. It just flows together.
Okay.
It's good.
That's what's up. I have to admit, on my petty meter, I have not watched Insecure for one reason and one reason alone, and it's not because of content or anything like that. Issa Rae just looks like a former boss that I had, and I could not stand this lady. Like, with every fiber of my being, I could not stand this lady. So every time I see Issa Rae, I'm like, I can't even do it. Like, and she's probably a dope person. The show's probably phenomenal, but every time I see her, I'm like, I can't do it, bro. I can't do it.
It's you.
Like, just go on YouTube and do the soundtrack. You know,
I might have to just.
It's good.
Cause yeah, and it bothers me because I'm like, I'm smarter than that. I know better. That's not the same person. But every time I see her, I'm like, I couldn't stand that boss. I don't even remember the boss's name now, but that's how it's still there. The disdain still remains for the boss. Okay, so the next question that I have for you here is one that I also asked the previous podcast with the Malones. Was if you could not take a snapshot, if you could speak to the Nye and Miguel from the beginning of 2018, the very beginning of 2018, with all the information that you have learned actually having lived through 2018, what would you say to the 2017 Nye and the 2017 Miguel regarding this upcoming year, 2018? Ooh, I think that's a good one. And that could be on any subject. What would you, if you just had, you have 5 minutes to speak to 2017 Miguel, what do you tell him?
All right, 20 seconds. All right, bro. 2017 Miguel. Calendar, bro. Use it. Okay. Schedule and make sure you schedule as much as possible. Fill that thing up. Okay. All right, Miguel. And don't sacrifice that time for nothing. If you put down an hour because you want to draw and you need to draw, you take that hour. Even if a friend hits you up, hey, let's grab lunch or something, you're like, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. Yeah. Even though Miguel, you can put that pencil down and go get something to eat. Don't, because this is, use that wisely. Also, it's okay to say goodbye. Yeah. You can grow by gaining, but you can also grow by losing. Yeah. And it's okay to lose. It's okay to lose people. It's okay to lose situations. Okay. The important thing is just learn, adapt, overcome. You know what I mean. So so be prepared to lose, but it's gonna be okay. And then schedule, calendar, use it. Okay.
Yeah. Now Nye, speaking to the 2017 Nye approaching 2018 as you are now approaching 2019, what do you tell her?
Definitely save your money. You will be very glad you did. Okay. Make sure that you speak your mind and be true to how you feel. Acknowledge how you're feeling. So if you're tired, communicate that and take that time to yourself. Make sure you make time for yourself. That'll help you be more impeccable with your time, so that if you commit time to something, you're actually able to fully engage and be 100% there in that present moment, doing whatever you're doing. And also, I would say just self-care. When you might not want to spend money on little things, and it's great to save, but it's also great to just reap the benefits of your work, of what you've built, what you've grown. It's important to pamper yourself every once in a while. So
okay, I hear you. Now here's the flip side of that same question here. I'll flip it just a little bit. Now, do you think the 2017 Nye would listen?
I think on certain things 2017 me would have listened. I feel like on other things I might not have listened right away, but I would have done what I needed to do sooner.
So it would have penetrated past the whatever. Yeah,
it would have been saving money. I definitely probably would have done that, because that's not a difficult thing for me. Okay. But as far as taking time for myself, so I can be more impeccable with my time and more present in every moment I'm in, right, I think I would have kind of pushed back on that. Okay. But I would have bought into it sooner if I had been able to tell myself that. Then I actually did. Okay. Because other people were telling me that. I like to think I take advice, but I take my own advice first, if I'm being honest. I'm an intuition woman. Okay. So.
That's what's up now, Miguel.
No, absolutely not. Dude, no. Absolutely not. Even if I was no, dude, no. I say that because I feel like everything that happened does happen for a reason. Like, I wouldn't be at this mindset. I wouldn't be in this room if all those things that happened to me or didn't happen. You know, like if, yeah, I feel like everything that's happened for a reason. That's why I'm here. If those things didn't happen, I might not be here, you know? So even because like, for example, again, shout out to my support system. If I were to follow them and, you know, they believe in me, but if I don't believe in me, you know, they can't really do anything about it. And so honestly, I feel like if I did listen to their advice, I'd probably be somewhere right now, you know? But on the flip side, I also feel like I'd probably be dead at the same time if I take some other advice.
Right.
And so, that's
a huge pendulum, man.
Man.
I'll be really well or dead.
Or dead. One of the two, man.
That's why I end all of my advice with, but I don't really know though.
Right.
I ain't gonna be the one to kill you.
Plausible deniability.
Right.
I didn't tell you.
What I said was.
Right.
But I'm very hard-headed, and people that taught me, like, for example, my brother, he would mention how, like, in high school he would do a lot of stupid stuff. Like, he would be the one that get caught, like, sneaking out and like, you know, doing stuff like that. So and so he was like, in hindsight it was really stupid, but like on the flip side, like, I learned, and I had to go through those things, like, in order for me to be here. So for example, if someone tells you, hey, don't touch that iron, it's hot, you know, you're gonna go and touch it and it burns you, and you're just like, oh, okay, I know this is hot now. Like, so you kind of walk with more conviction making those mistakes, you know? But yeah, I probably would not listen to my own advice.
Okay, so we have now reached the kind of very, because anything can happen during the course of your answers. I'll say tentatively the last question for us here today. And that question would be, again, to either one of you or both of you collectively. Over the last, again, almost 365, all of 2018, what is the one thing or many things that you could say you are the most surprised about yourself? So if you could speak again to the end of 2018, if you could look back on the 2017 person again and say, in 2018, we went through all this. I am the most surprised about this about you, or that you've accomplished this. I am the most proud of, surprised, or impressed about yourself over the last 365. What would you say? So it could be something that you know that previously, maybe in 2017, you might have been terrified to do, but you found yourself having done it in 2018 and you were surprised about that. It could be something that you worked hard on that you thought you might have given up, but in 2018 you see that you have accomplished that.
I think I have two. I would say that you let go of people that definitely needed to be let go of, that you've been holding on to for a lifetime. And regarding that, I'd say not all blood is family and not all family is blood.
100%.
So don't feel like you have to hold on to anyone that is disturbing your peace, lessening who you feel what you feel your value is as a person, and you were able to finally let someone go who has been there since, you know, family's blood, and that's forever. So
right.
But you know, that's only if they deserve to be in your life forever. So you made a huge decision that you're gonna be really happy you made, and shocked by.
Yeah.
And then I would also say you're gonna have no job for a couple of months, and you are going to turn down and you are going to quit more than 10 jobs that you will have been offered or that you will have already even started working, and then just not show up.
With the 2017 now, I look at you like, oh my God, why would I do that?
Yes, 2017 now, I would have been like, you had no job for how many months? Your car broke down and you had no job, and you were getting all these offers and you turned them all down? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Also, you're going to buy yourself a car. You're going to get yourself a driver's license, You're gonna do so many adult things you didn't think were possible.
That sounds like a big year for 2018.
Yeah, I did a lot of things, and I gotta say that was a lot of support thanks to my partner Miguel, who helped me learn how to drive.
What?
And I finally got my license, got a car, you know, that sort of thing. Also, you're going to find out you have great credit in 2018.
Hey.
Just a lot of shocking, beautiful, shocking things.
Those are good surprises. All right, Miguel.
Yeah, so one thing that kind of took me by surprise was for forgiving myself.
That's a huge one for mental health and wellness.
Yeah, man. It was just like, I know it's ridiculously cliche, but it is a huge weight off your shoulder.
Heck yeah.
That you decide to hold on to for X reason. You know what I mean? So the ability to, you know, learn to forgive yourself is huge.
Yep.
Which made me like propel forward, and so I'm kind of like proud of myself for that. Also, another big one is trying to not pay attention to what others may think from the outside looking in, and also from the inside looking out, so like comparing myself to other people as well.
Right.
So it goes both ways. I've kind of learned to mitigate that. So I'm sorry, coworkers, you know, at the restaurant, like y'all were really dope, y'all were really cool, y'all helped me out with the POS system and figuring everything out, but unfortunately I had to dip, you know what I mean? Right. So if y'all were extremely busy, my bad, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time, you know. So it may look crazy, but I don't really care, because this is really what I want to do, and I have finally the courage to actually try to, you know, go for that. So yeah, forgiving myself, and you know, not worried about what others may think about me, and comparing myself with other people too. Like, you know, they're at that level because of their hard work or X amount of reasons, you know, like I would get there my own way. Like, I'm gonna figure out my own path. Like, it's okay, man. Like, you know, just keep doing the best me, integrity, you know, just keep being, So those are probably the 2-3 things. Yeah.
Okay. And I wouldn't have it any other way for myself either, because I always would say that if somebody were to give me, you know, whatever goals I may have set, I don't think I would appreciate them as much, because to just wake up and be, I think I kind of liken it to people who are immensely talented from birth, just natural talent. I think it's difficult for them to understand the mindset of people who had to work extremely hard just to get to that level, because they just wake up and they're good. Yeah. They don't have to exert any force. They don't have to take time. They don't have to prepare. Versus the guy who spent 10 years, you know, underperforming and then getting a little better and then getting a little better. I think he has a better perspective on the climb up the mountain versus the man who was helicoptered in and just landed on top. It's a different vibe. Right. So that's what's up. So again, this is Some Roses Are Red. I'm extremely thankful to have both Miguel and Nye from Vibraancy, that's Vibraancy, on the podcast. And of course, like I said before, I like to have people on who are like-minded and who have a good vibrancy, who have good vibes and who are cool people, not just as musicians, because I like them as musicians, but as individuals. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to have them speak and answer things as individual people, because as good people, I think good people can go a lot further than good musicians, because when the music stops, I got to talk to you about something. So, again, I'm extremely thankful for you guys coming on the show. And if you want to or not, I'm not a big New Year's resolution. You can give a final thought if you want, or you can give a resolution, or you can just have a final word from Miguel and I of Vibraancy.
Yeah.
No final thoughts?
She's not eating pork anymore.
What?
I know.
After all the pig is done for us. How could you turn those back when they need you the most?
I know. I'm going to give up pork. I've decided to start doing things that scare me. Music is one thing that scares me. I want to make sure I'm on social media for my music every day.
Whoa.
Yes, that's going to be
scary.
a big one. I'm also excited to just try new things that scare me. I actually just auditioned for 2 fashion shows and got into a lingerie fashion show.
Whoa.
So I've never done
that would scare me.
You know, I've never done modeling before.
Okay.
So the fact that I got picked to be a runway model was really interesting, and I was like, all right, you know what? You know, it's 2019 coming up, right? So, yeah, I'm just doing everything that scares me.
Okay. I'm going to call you Super Low Pro Nye, because like she's named all this big stuff that she's accomplished in 2018 and just like, whatever. I'm modeling. I learned how to drive. I bought a car. No big deal. Like, that's huge. All this stuff is gigantic.
What's next?
Thank you.
Right. Okay, so before we go, you guys got any upcoming shows or any upcoming performances that anybody should know about if they want to check out your page, or if you can drop off your Facebook or your social media pages just so people can look for you and your music. And of course, we'll have Vibrancy on the music show, and as individuals, as the program develops, there are many, like I said, many other questions I'd like to ask them regarding tons of different topics, because they're, again, good people. So if you want to give your social media information, or if you want to mention shows or anything, you can feel free to take some time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So our biggest outlet right now is Instagram. It's at Vibrancy. So again, it's Vibraancy. Follow us there. We also have our Facebook page up. Again, same thing, Vibrancy, Vibraancy. Those are our 2 biggest outlets. As far as shows coming up, there's one, I think for sure, Valentine's Day. We're planning something with a local coffee shop.
Okay.
But as of right now, 2019, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. That's how you know when we're going to drop some stuff, because that's definitely a year that we plan on working our butts off, to get some music out. So yeah, definitely look out for us in 2019. Follow us on those 2 things to keep updated. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. Thanks again to Vibrancy, Miguel, and Nye for coming through to our humble studios and for being part of my little vision here that I imagine just sitting here in my home. So it's a big honor for me to have you guys on here, because it's cool to have a dream, but it's even cooler to have people who can share our part in that dream. So that support system.
Yes.
That Miguel is winning the support system Olympics with. those peripheral people, I'm glad to have you guys in my periphery. So thanks again for coming out, and that's our show for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next time on Some Roses Are Red. Thanks for joining us again. This is Jonathan of Some Roses Are Red, and in today's studio we have, for another one of our holiday editions for 2019, we have Johnny Johnson and Richard Johnson, also known as my mom and Richard. I just call him Richard.
Me, because I'm thankful for my health, because it was kind of rough at the beginning, but at the end of the year I was starting to feel a lot better. I had problems with my knees, elbows, just joint pain, but it's getting a whole lot better now.
Okay.
Ironically, he stole my answer. I am most thankful for life. I am most thankful for health. So it will be one and the same. My health is better, so it makes my life better.
Oh, wow.
There we go. A good one. Finally, I stumped you.
Yeah.
A good question.
You're listening to Some Roses Are Red, presented by 79.7.